Senior news editor at the Kumasi unit of the Multimedia Group, Kofi Domfeh, has been elected as the new Ashanti Regional Chairperson of the Ghana Journalists Association. His victory came after a keenly contested election held across the country to choose new regional and national executives for the association. Domfeh, who is known for his strong advocacy for ethical journalism and climate change, will now lead the Ashanti Regional Chapter of the GJA after winning the 16 votes while his opponent pulled 15 votes. In his campaign, Domfeh outlined a three-point vision focusing on continuous professional integrity, dignity in ethical practice, and accountability within the media fraternity in the region. He pledged to restore the association's credibility and build a more vibrant and inclusive media community in Ashanti. Speaking after his election, Domfeh expressed gratitude to his colleagues for the confidence reposed in him and promised to work tirelessly to uplift the standards of journalism in the region. He will serve in the administration with the GBC's Nicholas Osewusu as Regional Vice President, Media General Speeches Spiogabra as General Secretary, and Dr. Chris Abiana Sram as Treasurer. Domfeh's election has been widely welcomed by journalists and stakeholders within the region, with many expressing optimism about the future of the association under his leadership. The elections were part of a nationwide exercise by the GJA to usher in a new crop of leaders at both national and regional levels to steer the affairs of the association for the next term. Meanwhile, well, congratulations to him, of course. Meanwhile, voting is underway in the Ghana Journalists Association elections, with both candidates and voters commending the calm and orderly nature of the process of polling centers. Many journalists participating in the exercise say they are impressed with the organization so far and remain hopeful for a credible outcome. GJA President Mr. Albert Kwabena, who is seeking re-election, shared his impressions of the process in an interview with JoyNews.
Voting is underway in the Ghana Journalists Association elections, with both candidates and voters commending the calm and orderly nature of the process at polling centers. Many journalists participating in the exercise say they are impressed with the organization so far and remain hopeful for a credible outcome. GJA President Mr. Albert Kwabena, who is seeking re-election, shared his impressions of the process in an interview with JoyNews.
From the beginning of my tenure or administration, I have enjoyed maximum cooperation and support from all of you. And so it will not be out of place if I said kudos and thank you all for all the cooperation and support so far. And let me quickly say that this has been the smoothness or the most smoothest process ever.
Officials from the Electoral Commission also confirmed that voting has been peaceful and professionally handled.
Okay, so far so good. Everything is on point. Okay, so we're expecting 303, and so far 78 have come to vote.
Voters say they are looking forward to results that will not only reflect the will of members, but also help advance press freedom and strengthen the association's role in promoting ethical journalism.
Well, we expect the leadership, the new leadership, if it's going to be retaining, it's going to be a change. Whoever is taking over should digitize processes, open opportunities for journalists to add value to themselves, find a way of dealing with the ownership of the media establishments to look at enhancing the remuneration of journalists, which at the moment is nothing to write home about, and to protect us against bad politicians who sometimes get overboard and maltreat us.
This afternoon on Joy News Pulse, we catch up with two of the 2025 Joy News Impact Makers Awards finalist Ikia Sapon, who supports over 2,000 families in cancer diagnosis, treatment, and psychosocial treatment or support, he says, and Eric Bwedi Sapon, who is making significant strides in education. Fresh from a night of inspiration and celebration on June 28th, they join us here to share what it means to them and what drives them. Well, I was hoping to show you a bit of excerpts, but Ika is here with me in studio. Okay, first of all, I was watching it, and then, I mean, before we even went on that day itself, for you to receive that award, each time your picture will come on the screen, I said, who is this powerhouse supporting this amount of support? How has it been for you so far since you won? It's been how many nights?
It's been two nights. 2 nights.
How are you feeling?
Well, it's been great.
Okay.
I mean, people have been awesome. Congratulations keep coming through. Acknowledging what we're doing. It's nice.
Does it feel any different before winning? You know, when you're doing something and you don't feel like you're getting the needed support and recognition. Today, 2 days after you have been recognized and awarded, does it feel any different?
Well, it certainly does. I think to the extent that, you know, now people can recognize the word childhood cancer in their vocabulary. That's good for us. And to, you know, people will suddenly read more about it. There's a little bit more awareness on childhood cancer because of that, then yes.
I mean, let me take a minute to hear your story. Why childhood cancer?
Why not? So in 2016, my little girl, she was 1 year, 3 months at the time, she got diagnosed with rhabdomyosarcoma, long and short of it. So how did we even find out? We didn't. Because we really didn't know the early warning signs, so we found out a little late. But we did the treatment, but childhood cancer journey is quite brutal. It's a very excruciating journey, a very lonely path for families to endure. So and she passed away after 2 years, thank you, after 2 years of long battles of hospital visits, chemotherapy, sickness, name it, we've been through it. And having gone through the journey and seen so many children who were not getting the support that they needed. At the time, not covered under national health insurance. The survival rate is so low. We're losing children like it was going out of fashion simply because they couldn't afford it. They didn't know what they were looking for. You know, we don't understand the signs and symptoms of childhood cancer. Yeah. And I thought, you know, really, there has to be more to this life than just sitting around. So the pediatric oncology department at the time needed to create an avenue to be able to raise funding to support all the work they were doing. So that's how come I joined, and I pretty much ran with the organization. And 7 years on, this is where we are.
Congratulations once again. Really, really proud of you.
Thank
the psychosocial support that you provide, that bit, let me in on that bit as well.
So we do more than just psychosocial support.
Okay.
We're a fundraising organization, we are a patient organization, and we raise funds for the treatment and care of children with cancer. And as you may be aware, with children with cancer, it's not just the clinical side. So we support paying for chemotherapy drugs, we pay for the diagnosis of the children, including paying for CT scans, MRIs, you know, and all that, surgeries, if that's what is needed. We also work with the non-medical side would be, let's say, the nutrition, because, you know, the children come up really sick, sometimes malnourished. And if you know anything about chemotherapy, it's pretty harsh.
Yeah.
So you need to ensure that they're well fed, you know, to be able to undergo the treatment. Cancer treatment too can be very long, and also because of chemotherapy, they get very immunocompromised. You know, the immunity is always down, and it goes down, you have to build them up. So they're not able to go to school. So if the treatment is, let's say, for 3 years, they would miss a good 3 years of
my goodness.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's very important to support them in their education. So we have hospital schools. So while they're in the hospital, they'll be able to, you know, we do art therapy classes with them. If the child has been sick for 3 years, then of course the mother would have to be there to stay through. Yeah. So the first lady, the former first lady, bless their soul, built as a hostel.
Right.
A 54-bed, so our parents our families who are out of Accra able to stay there. Of course, we need to support them in their feeding, their living care. If you have to do it for 3 years, you have no job to go to.
Oh
So we also do skills development training for the mom. So we pretty much do the whole spectrum to ensure that the mother, the child, the family gets all the support they need to be able to carry on with the treatment and get a cure. Again,
1 million times. Well done. We're going to come to what next for you, but I'll go on Zoom where Eric Boedi Sampon, who also is in a teaching career from 2012 and later assumed leadership at Ataniata DA Primary School, where he revived a collapsing institution. He increased enrollment from 13 to 100 students and established a junior high school with a 100% BEC pass rate for 3 consecutive years. His infrastructure project includes a 3-unit classroom block, a 14-bedroom teacher bungalow, and a mechanized borehole serving both the school and the surrounding community. Eric, congratulations on your award. But tell me how you are as well feeling 2 days after this recognition.
Thank you, MFA. I really appreciate the opportunity. And it feels so good, so great. And right now I feel like, being in a longing smell with a fragrance. It's so good. The calls, the vibes, those that are calling, it's so great, it's so great, it's so great.
Well, Eric, from 13 to 100, that is really significant. Why not anything else? I appreciate that you're a teacher, but why not anything? Why did you intend to want to go into such a huge project?
Well, you see, I delight joy seeing other people smile. And so in 2013, when I was reposted to Ataniata as a young teacher, I went there and I saw that there was a school without teachers, school without chairs, school without teachers' bungalows, a school without learners. And the tension between this Fulani herdsmen and then a native was so intense that parents feared to send their children to school. So on that day, I asked myself, if not me, then who? And then if not this time, when? So I began to search for learners. I combed around the various nearby villages to search for learners. And indeed, I had 13 to start with.
Okay.
And it has been that, so now we have 120. That is what I can say for now.
That is a lot. It's not what you can say. That is a lot that you have done. I'll come to you to ask what's next for you. What do you want to do more with this recognition? What kind of support are you looking for? But I'm back in the studio here. Makia, tell me, what next? I'm just reading, and I can see that in 2023 alone, a little over 500 families received transport support. And as well, a little over 300 children received treatment. And numbers, 527 access diagnosis and all of that. That is very impressive. But what next would you like to do?
How much time do you have? So one of our big challenges is space.
Right.
If you've been to see our spot in Kolebu, space is a luxury. Currently in Kolebu, which we work from and also co-founded Kolebu, we have a 24-bed ward. But mind you, every year we get a little over 250 new cases, plus existing cases. Oh. So, you can have traffic up to about 1,000 people, children, coming through this same 24-bed ward. We have a daycare, it's an oncology daycare where they come for treatment, chemotherapy, and go home. Now the daycare is now converted into a ward. And so we, in 2023, or 2023, we cut sod and started the construction of a new standalone wing for pediatric oncology. It's a 40-bed entire center that would treat, hold, have isolation, have canteens, have meeting room, research areas. So would be able to have a dedicated spot for our children, a safe place where they can call home, because the treatment is long.
It is.
A safe place they can call home. You know, currently in Kolibu, even if a mother wants a place to cry, you can't get it.
Oh my God.
That's how intense it is. You know, a place to rest. But this would be an entire suite that would hold our children. Our nurses and doctors can have a quieter place, safe places. So it's really going to increase the outcomes. I mean, right now, if we're doing 280 children, new cases a year, we can go to 600 because we have the space. And we are at the roof. Total project cost is $1.6 million. So far, we have raised $458,000. We've been great. We're so grateful to support from companies and individuals who have supported us on this journey so far. Enterprise Group Limited gave us our seed capital. Gasem gave us all our cement. Domfeh has donated the roof. VPL Concrete gave us some concrete, you know. So it's both cash and in kind. Now we've come to a point where we're stuck. We've got to finish this project. And the same way, you know, partners and friends joined us in the beginning, we're still calling on people to support us and complete it. Childhood cancer is really a lot closer than we think, you know.
And I think you have the prettiest smile. Nobody will say no to you.
You think?
And so I'm certain they're watching you. How can they, you know, be part of this project? You've mentioned both in kind and in cash, but how can one be part of this project?
Oh, go to our website. There's so much information on our website. You can always reach us from our website. We have a payment channel on there. If you want to do small, that's great. If you want to do great, big one, get in touch. We'll have a conversation. We have, so someone else, you know, I can't do big. Can I do small? Of course you can. You know, if you have 20 cities, 70 cities, 100 cities, you can do, we have a short code, *887 *2#.
Okay.
Give as much as you can. It adds up. Momo 0555 751377. But we're very, very open. Reach out to us. Come visit and see what we do. See where your money goes.
Right.
And see, you know, the project and, you know, be a part of it. And
I'm not done with you. Stay with me. I'm going back on Zoom and let me engage Eric. Eric, and so what's the future looking like for you? Did I lose Eric?
Well, the future is going to be great. It's going to be bigger. We are going to get from our incoming partners and other things. I think we are going to open up our wings and then go extra mile to support the less privileged. What we are going to do is that we are not going to do it alone, because whatever I've done in the past, I didn't do it alone. I mean, I had the support
the network
from Adapon Village. It's an angel. Yeah, and so we are going to open up our wings to scale up, especially the school feeding program.
Okay.
We have been doing it occasionally, but right now, I think with some support coming, that will come from elsewhere. We are going to do it the normal way that every school is having. And so we are going to scale it up, and then also see to it that there are going to be some mechanized boreholes in other communities. I mean, we are going to open up our wings. We are going to open up our wings, and then to make sure that the world looks a better place for all of us, not just good, but a better place for all of us to live in.
I mean, Eric, somebody's watching you and they're wondering, oh my God, I'm waiting to be a little big before I can make that change or impact lives. What do you have to say to them?
Oh, that person shouldn't wait. There's nothing so small. I mean, you can start something, and then with a little drops of water, we can make a mighty ocean. So we shouldn't wait. Just start little. Who knows? Maybe you may get help somewhere along the line. So I would urge the person to start something quickly to impact life. It's going to be recognized, as you have been recognized as grassroots impact makers. So I'm sure gradually the person is going to be recognized. Yeah.
That's amazing. And how can we find you?
Well, I'm in Kwewu, and if you come to Kwewu, the education office, and then you ask for Pataniata Eric, I mean, my director would confidently and then happily direct you to my end, and then everything will be good. I'm in Kwewu, so anyone who wants to support what we are doing can come straight to the education office at Go East District, and then we can start from there.
Eric, some people are afraid of the mountains. If we don't want to come there physically, how can we reach you? Is there a number, website, anyway, anyhow we can reach you, at least to support?
No, for now, that is the only source that I'll
go to the GAS. Okay. Okay.
Go to the GAS.
All right. Yeah. Eric, congratulations to you again.
Thank you very much, MFA, and thank you to JoyNews for championing and amplifying our stories. And thank you to all impact makers. God bless them, and God bless you as well.
God bless you too. Okay, you have the last minute. So, tell us, you've told us how we can support you, but somebody watching you, how can you encourage them to at least as well start? Of course, we're not waiting for them to face the challenge you faced first, but what can you say to people watching you?
So let me end by saying that childhood cancer is real, but it's also curable. And let me just use just 2 seconds. So unfortunately with childhood cancer, the symptoms don't show like the adult cancers. So that's why we always have such late case presentations. But we have an acronym called SILUAN, S-I-L-U-A-N. S stands for seek immediate attention if there are any symptoms you don't understand. With childhood cancer, it's all about persistent symptoms. So a child would have a persistent cough, a persistent temperature spike, seek immediate attention. I is for eye, any changes in the eye.
Okay.
So whiteness in the eye, new squints, weepy eyes, bulging eyes. It could be a sign of eye cancers. L is for lumps, any part of the body, even if it's painless and it moves. It could be an early sign of childhood cancer. U for any unexplained symptoms, so dizziness, vomiting, headaches that don't stop, feverish and night sweat. A is for any aches and pains in the body. Children don't normally have aches in their bodies, so if they complain of pain in their leg, in their bones, it could be a sign of cancer. And N is neurological symptoms. So children who don't fulfill their milestones.
Okay.
You know, they're 3 years old, they're still not walking, it could be a problem. Vomiting, early morning vomiting, not early, vomiting actually, projectile vomiting.
Okay.
It could be a sign. Children who bump into things when they walk, you expect them to be walking. So look out for signs that are odd, that are symptoms that you can't explain. Seek immediate attention. Childhood cancer is curable, but early detection makes all the difference. So.
Thank you so much, and I pray that you keep this smile on, and wishing you all the best. Thank you as well for joining us today on The Pulse. My name is Emefa Akosiadeti. For more news, do log on to myjoyonline.com. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.